All right, this video is going to piss some people off because I know you guys love your index funds and love making your 8% and all that kind of stuff. But in this video, I'm going to completely dismantle that and show you why you should not be investing in bonds and not investing in the stock market, especially in index funds. So sorry. Instead, this is where I think you should be putting your money. Okay, instead of putting it in stocks and bonds and rental properties, we're going to be talking about where I think you should be putting your money, and I'm going to show you the math. Because the retirement game plan, if you do ever want to retire and you want to not work again or not run your business again, you're going to have to eventually retire one day. Or at least, hey, it might be nice for some of you to be able to do that. And in order to do that, we just have to look at the math and run the math backwards. So that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. We're going to go over the scoreboard. Rye Real Estate is the retirement answer. Oops. 100K to a no-brainer game plan. We're gonna do 2 different tracks. Why now? Like why you need to get started on this now. No matter if you're 22 years old or 92 years old, you gotta get started now. And if you're 92, it might be a little bit too late, so you might wanna implement something else. Risks and how we mitigate them, and the bottom line, all right? Before we get into the video, 90% of you watching are not subscribed. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Accredited investors, which means you make over 200 grand a year. Grab my LP Insider Kit down below, 2 recent deal decks, my multifamily underwriting model, and the passive tax playbook, all completely free. The first 50 of you to get it this month get access to a weekly recurring meeting with me live on Zoom, completely free. Link down below, top of the description. With that being said, let's get into the video. So the scoreboard, what 100K can become in 10 years? I think 100K is a good, if you have $1 million, which some of you listening do, if you do, shoot me a message, shoot me an email, I want to talk to you. If you have 100K, 200K, 300K, 50K, let's just look at some basic math and basic numbers. Okay, so this is just simple compounding to illustrate potential, no guarantees, just math. So bonds at 3%, right? Bonds, you invest 100K into bonds. In 10 years, it becomes 134K. That's around $3,000 a year in interest payments, right? 3%. Stocks, typically stocks, if you do a index fund, it's going to be 8%, right? So 100K is going to double in 10 years at a 4% withdrawal, gains around 8.6 per year. Because if you're making 8%, you want to withdraw half of that, you're making around 10K a year, right? If you have 100K. Now, if you have $1 million, you're going to have 10 times that amount of money, right? You would have 86K per year that you can pull out, which is pretty damn good if you got $1 million. I think the math says that the amount of people that have, I think the average person has saved up for retirement like $17,000 or $7,000, something below $20,000, which is absolutely insane. Now, single family rental properties, right? Which a lot of you think like, hey, I'm just going to buy some single family home rentals from martelturnkey.com. Again, great company, you should go check it out. But those properties net 10%. So that's $10,000 cash flow per year plus loan pay down and appreciation, but you don't see this in year 1, right? So single family rentals, you invest 100K, you buy a bunch of properties, you're gonna be making around 10% cash flow. It's gonna be making like 20 to 30% in terms of everything. But in terms of just pure cash flow, what you can live off, because if you grow a portfolio of 20, 30, 40, 100 single family home rental properties, that's going to be fantastic, but you're only going to be making around 10% of that in cash flow. And cash flow is what you can use to retire. Okay, you can't use this other shit like appreciation to retire. You can't live off an appreciation, okay? Now, multifamily syndication. This is where you invest in a company like Red Brick Equity. So you invest in one of their deals and they do everything for you and invest as an LP or a limited partner, okay? So multifamily syndications, you can make 15 to 20%. This is what typical syndications do in the multifamily space. This is not an offer to sell. Compounding equivalent to 4 to 6x over 10 years. So even at 15%, 100K turns over to 400K if you just look at the midpoint. Typical structure is 6 to 9% cash paid quarterly and equity upside at the sale or refi. So if you buy a portfolio of single family home rental properties, you are the landlord. You have to do the work. You have to find the house. You have to clean it up. You have to manage the property management company. You have to sell it and do, an appraisal on it. Find a new buyer if you do ever want to sell it. Multifamily syndication, you're making the same amount of cash flow, 6 to 9%, except all the sale and refinance, those big pops, those big gains that you get in terms of appreciation, you don't have to do shit for them. And if you're investing in a syndication and they don't sell it and they refinance it, that means you invest 100K in 4 or 5 years, you might get a check out of thin air for $50,000 for the refinance. And then 4 to 5 years later, another check for $50,000. You see what I mean? And you get all the cash flow. So investing in some sort of multifamily syndication is a way better path, okay? Bonds are great to protect cash. Stocks also grow it. They grow up very slowly. Real estate pays you now and can still grow. So you get the best of both worlds. Also, if we want to talk about taxes, like this is going to be paid in taxes, nothing you can write off. This is going to be paid in taxes, nothing you can write off. So this 3%, let's say you pay 50% in taxes, just an analogy, you would be at 1.5%, right? Stocks, you're really going to be at 4%. Single family home rentals, you can write off all the cash flow. So now you're making, instead of stocks at 4%, you're making single family home rentals at 10. So single family home rentals are way better than stocks and bonds because of the tax advantages. Then you have multifamily syndications, which we can do bonus depreciation. We can do all types of crazy shit. With that, we're making 20% IRRs versus 4% versus 1.5% versus 10%. We're making double rental properties and doing it yourself, right? It's crazy. So why is real estate the retirement answer? Okay, a couple different reasons why I like real estate as a retirement answer. And the reason why I came up with this idea for this video is because I was actually meeting with one of my clients and who invested in Red Brick Equity, the fund, and she invested $150K with us, and we were talking about retirement. We were talking about, I was kind of giving her my game plan on why this is my retirement plan, to invest in multifamily properties across the country. So why is real estate the retirement game plan? So current income. So rentals and syndications pay distributions quarterly for most funds. So you get that cash flow every single month so that you can pay your bills. You also get tax shields. So you get depreciation, which often shelters a big chunk of cash that you receive. So you get K1 losses on paper, which you can use to write off all of that cash flow that you're getting, so you pay next to nothing in taxes, typically. Control and collateral. You get real assets with levers. You get to renovate, re-tenant, and refinance those properties, as I was mentioning earlier, and you get multiple profit centers. The cash flow, amortization, appreciation, tax benefits, not just the price of the stock or the bond going up, okay? So let's take 100K and let's go 2 tracks. This is the no-brainer game plan. So track A is semi-passive, where you own a turnkey rental property. You put 60 to 70K down, you buy 2 affordable rentals from Martel Turnkey, you keep 30 to 40K for closing rehab reserves, you aim for 1 to 1.2 rent to price ratio, which means you buy a house for 100K, it rents up for $1,000 a month. DSCR is 1.2. You layer voucher rents or local incentives to stabilize cash flow. You rent, practical target is $1,000 a month across 2 doors once stabilized. This is actually going to be way less right now. What I'm seeing for turnkey rental properties, let's do this instead of per property. So $200 to $400 a month per property, okay? So you're going to be making $200 to $400 a month per property, per door that you have. So if you can buy 2, you're at $400 to $800 a month. Okay, and if you're interested in buying turnkey rental properties, click the link top of the description. I think the second or third link. You can go and check out some of the inventory that we have. We sell inventory like this all the time. Go ahead and check it out. But most turnkey rental properties today are $200 to $400 a month. Most single family houses are $200 to $400 a month in cash flow. Everybody thinks you can get $7, $8, $9, $1,000. You can. It's going to be in the hood. So have fun with that. Call me in 6 months when you hate real estate. Track 2, fully passive, own a piece of a building. So this is where you invest in an LP into a syndication like Red Brick Equity, and this is going to be a value add multifamily deal. This is what we do at Red Brick. You expect 6 to 9% cash paid quarterly, plus a capital event in 3 to 7 years with a refi or sale, but the GP or the general partner or the syndicator does this for you. You don't have to do it. And so again, buying rental properties are great, but you are in control of the deal. You have to maneuver the deal to be a sale or a refinance, X, Y, and Z. Everything is done for you. So for example, if you invest 100K, you would get $8,000 a year in cash flow and a 2X multiple at year 5. So you'd get $200,000 back for your $100,000 investment, plus all your cash flow, right? So you get close to $200,000 back overall, which is a 15% IRR. Then you can rinse and roll that into the next deal. So now the next deal, instead of owning 5% of the building, you own 10% of the building, okay? And if you want both, best of both worlds, split up your money. Invest some in bonds, some in stocks, some in syndication, some in turnkey rental properties, some into flip system to flip some houses. Like, take your money and split it up. I'm not saying you just do this one thing. I definitely test it out, test things out slowly. Start with, whatever, a certain percentage of your net worth, your cash that you have, and then slowly increase it over time. Why now? There's a couple of reasons why I would get started building this right now. The next 5 years are going to be an amazing, amazing time to build wealth that's going to last forever, okay? Couple things. Debt maturities. So owners who finance at 2 to 4% are hitting refi walls at 6%. So there's going to be a lot of apartment buildings, and what this means in English, there's going to be a lot of apartment buildings that are coming due on their refinance. So people who have 2 to 4% interest rates, the rates are now 6%. They're going to have to sell the properties because they're not going to be able to afford to refinance, okay? Lots of overbuilding has been happening in the Sun Belt, okay? But it's going to normalize later. So this is going to be a classic buy low and sell high or refinance high when those markets come back. The issue with the Sun Belt right now is occupancy rates. Occupancy rates in the South, in the Sun Belt, are really, really tough. Like 15% vacancy for Class A, which is unheard of. 85% occupancy for Class A is just wild. It should be like 97%. So well-capitalized buyers can lock fixed debt, stabilize, and ride the recovery, okay? Now, a couple of risks and how we mitigate them. So both rentals and syndications are not day trades. You have to keep 6 to 12 months in reserves because they're illiquid. So you invest in a real estate syndication, it's illiquid. You can't get the money out for 4 to 5 years typically. So just make sure you have some cash in the bank. Vet the operators, stress test the deals for higher interest rates, minus 10% rents. If you know how to do those things, fantastic. If not, click the link top of the description. I'm going to show you how to do that. Don't put your entire net worth in one house or one deal. Diversify across different markets, different operators, invest in tons of different operators to make sure that your retirement is safe. Because again, this is your retirement. If your goal is retirement income, the math favors real estate. Stocks build a pile, but you still have to sell shares to eat. And what happens when you sell shares? Good job. Taxes. Yes, exactly. When you refinance an apartment building, all that money is tax-free, okay? So rentals and multifamily pay you while you wait and can compound faster with sensible leverage and operational upside. Thank you so much for watching this video. Appreciate it. What are you going to choose, right? 2 rental properties, 1 multifamily deal, split it. Hopefully this was helpful in terms of you and your retirement plan. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And accredited investors, if you make over 200 grand a year, grab the LP Insider Kit, 2 deal decks, underwriting model, passive tax playbook, and join my private investor weekly briefing. Click the link top of the description. See you on the next one.